it did start in China. China became communist. They were killing the doctors. They wanted to get rid of the medicine because you can't control. You need to get rid of, when you become communism, right, you got to get rid of religion, the medicine. You got to get rid of the things you can't control. So a lot of those doctors started to leave. So that's why the medicine started going into other countries, Taiwan, to the States. It started trickling out. So that's how it started, to my knowledge, of dissipating into other countries. Of course, the Japanese have their own style. There's different styles of acupuncture. You know, the Japanese have their own style. The Korean has a little different take on it. And then there's family styles that we don't even know of, because I practice a little bit of a style tongue acupuncture, and it's a whole family style that was just passed down. My mother-in-law got real sick. She had a reaction to some medicine, and it caused some damage. But anyway, she was going to California. They were taking her to California from here, and getting treatments. And I just saw how much better she got. So I started looking into it because it's intriguing. It's like you put needles in somebody and they get better. I mean, you start thinking about that, and it's like, what is it? Oh, that makes no sense, and then it makes sense, kind of at the same time. So that's when I started looking into it, and then that's how I found the school in Santa Fe. There's several schools in the States, but then that's after Eastern. That's what led me to Santa Fe. So basically, what you're doing with the acupuncture needles is you're causing a stimulation in the connective tissue. So you're going to stimulate the nerve and that area, and by stimulating that area, that promotes circulation, blood, lymph in another part of the body, and then that promotes healing. Because your body really can't. The blood carries everything, so your body can't heal itself unless you can get the blood there to promote that. So by stimulating acupuncture points, the nervous system, then that stimulates other systems, endocrine, circulatory, and then by doing that, then that promotes healing in other parts of the body. And that's why somebody comes and sees me for back pain, for instance. I don't put the needles in the back. Use the opposite end of the spectrum to treat that. So you're promoting blood flow because I'm using needles in the opposite end of the body to treat the back pain. Oriental medicine encompasses several different modalities. So you can use acupuncture, you can use herbal, you can use moxa, which is an herb that you can burn. Several modalities. There's some bleeding techniques even. So, but you use those modalities to promote healing in the body. Pain's probably number one, but in the last few years we're getting more anxiety, depression, insomnia, stress. A lot more stress. People come in with those kind of scenarios. And then also treat, I guess I'm more like a general practitioner because we treat a lot of OBGYN problems. All right, so how are you, Mr. Fraze?
I'm well, Dr. Lee.
I'm good. I'm Lance. That's good to meet you. All right, so let's see what's going on, Mr. Fraze. Because we got this frequent urination problem, right, sir? So tell me about that. Do you have any pain? Do you have any pain with that, or? It's not a protocol medicine at all. There's some things that you do the same thing, but it's not. You don't learn a set of protocols and then 5,000 people you use the same protocol. It doesn't work like that at all. You have to change the treatment plan almost every time to get results because people change and circumstances change, or weather changes, or diet can affect something. So that's what keeps it interesting to me. And then you're having to learn. I'm having to learn old medicine and new at the same. Stuff. New treatments come out, but then I'm still having to try to figure out and read the old books and understand what a practitioner was talking about 1,600 years ago. So it's just so much, and it's really interesting. It really is. I love people that are skeptical and don't believe it's going to work, and because they are the ones that get better, and I love treating those people. Yep. Just like the other day, we had a lady with severe neck pain. She couldn't move her neck. They always come in, you're the last resort, I don't know what we're going to do after this, all that jazz. And skeptical, put needles in, get better, yeah, right, whatever. 4 needles, moving her neck. So with the style I practice and the way Dr. Tan taught us to do that, that's the goal, is they should be better then. It may not last, it could come back, but that's why you need more treatment, because it's treatment. But that's the goal, is to get some results then, because especially if they're skeptical, because if you make it happen then they're coming back, because they know you can do it and they can get better then. So yeah, you definitely don't want to be getting sharp, stabby, piercing pain while you're getting acupuncture, for sure, because nobody will come back. So you don't want that. But another reason is because the needle is so small. It's and it's a solid needle, so you're not cutting tissue. I'm not injecting or withdrawing any fluid from the body. So that's another reason the needle should be painless insertion. Sometimes you feel a heaviness or a dull achy from the acupuncture, but other than that, it should not be, because you can't relax. If you're just laying back here the whole time and you're hurting, you can't relax, and then the treatment's not going to work a lot of times neither if you can't relax. So yeah, so acupuncture is probably my favorite, because sometimes people don't like to take herbs, so I lean more towards acupuncture. And that's just, using the needles. And then there's other ways to stimulate acupuncture points. Like there's acupuncture points on your ear, and a lot of times after treatment, we can use ear seeds, ear BBs. And after you get done with your treatment, put those ear BBs on, and you can get carryover treatment, until I see you the next week. And then there's all other ways. There's magnets. There's other ways. Like with kids, I don't. If a kid comes in and they don't want acupuncture, I have a whole multiple regime that we can do to help stimulate those points and get them better. You don't have to torture people to get them better. You can use electricity on those points, or you can use just, I don't use a lot of moxa anymore because it gets smoky and people's allergies, but you can use moxa sticks and warm up the acupuncture points as well. There's a whole kinds of treatments that you can do just with that to stimulate acupuncture points. And then of course the bloodletting. I know that sounds kind of, I don't know, old school and kind of scary, but it's really not. There's certain times where conditions that are chronic, and you can tell, because that's one of our trainings, you can tell if blood is stagnant. Not that you have blood clots, but if you have stagnant blood, if you don't remove that, people won't get better. So especially like with certain sciatica, there can be varicose veins down the leg, and if you don't get drops of blood out of those areas, off those channels, meridians, whatever you want to call them, then those folks won't get better. And I know that sounds crazy, but you can just get drops of blood out of those areas and change the whole treatment. Born and raised in Portales, and then my wife is from Tatum, and we wound back up in Hobbs. Well, we had a clinic in Hobbs and in Clovis at the same time, and I had to slow down. But Hobbs was the main when we came back to town. And then you got the research coming out, and then just from reading the older books, Shanghan Lun is one, Neijing, just reading those books, and you have to read them several times because I'm a Western, because I still have those Western tendencies of thinking, and I think that's one reason. And it's hard to know how they were thinking however long ago that was. So then you're having to understand that at the same time. But it helps because then, in our profession, we have a lot of people that are scholarly, and then they pass those things down, and then there's a lot of continuing education classes that we have to take to keep our licensure anyway that help a lot too. So, and it's just constant, just continue studying. It never ends. Yeah. That's the thing. I don't know who thinks you stop school. You really don't stop. I don't think in any profession, but in this one for sure.